Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Tripleseat's podcast, Two Chicks, Three Seats. I did it again. we added Tripleseat into the title now, into this intro. In case you forgot, we're here from Tripleseat.
Sponsored by Tripleseat.
Sponsored by Tripleseat, funded by Tripleseat. Check us out if you don't know who Tripleseat is. But it's been a hot second since we recorded. So today we're here with some great new content for you. I actually recently attended the Event Planner Expo in New York City last week and was inspired by a lot of the amazing and unique vendors that were exhibiting at the show. And so that inspired this episode today. There's just so many unique things that I hadn't seen before, and some that were just done more creatively than I had seen in the past. And as a planner, these ideas can hopefully inspire you for some things that if you're in the New York area, then you could directly source from some of the brands that we'll talk about today, or maybe give you an idea of what you could be looking for in your area of the country. And so we broke this episode down into a couple of different vendor types. And we're going to talk about everything from dessert trucks to unique food presentation ideas, some event activities, all sorts of fun things like that. So without further ado, let's see how we can inspire our event planners out there. Kate, kick us off.
Love it. All right, I'll kick you off with beverages. Clearly, that's what I always kick off episodes with. But there are countless ways to incorporate beverage experiences into your next event, and many of which go way beyond the open bar, with many incorporating non-alcoholic beverages. Because I do feel like non-alcoholic beverages are having a moment. I don't know about you, but I feel like people are I read it. Okay, I'm just going to diverge for 1 second. I read an article recently that was talking about how alcohol isn't cool anymore, and now edibles are cool. And I was like, huh, interesting. I think it's kind of true. I feel like, people are kind of pulling back. I think we went overboard with the alcohol during COVID, during the height of COVID. So I think maybe people are pulling back a little bit now. And of course, marijuana has been legalized in many places across the country. So that also could have something to do with it. But I just wanted to throw that in there. So a lot of this is non-alcoholic beverages included as well. So if you're having a morning event, a brunch, or even a corporate function that doesn't include alcohol, because many don't, you can find creative ways to make the coffee, tea, juice, and soda experience something exceptional. And you could try a custom espresso bar from a company like Latte Royale. Latte. I just want to say latte because from
just
Boston.
To get under my skin.
Just to get under Rachel's skin. The Latte Royale. But we'll include links, by the way, to all of the businesses we mentioned today in the show notes. So you can look them up if you're in NYC, or maybe there's a company near you that offers the same thing. So they offer custom all-inclusive cafe setups that include coffee favorites along with signature crafted beverages, fruit smoothies, teas, pastries, and much more. And their carts are so cute. I looked them up online, and very aesthetically pleasing. So the experience is only going to add an extra element of fun to your event. And it's not tacky in any way, believe me. And instead of a sterile looking corporate breakfast setup, you could opt for something fun and whimsical, like a custom coffee cart instead. And I feel like this is if this company, for a company like this doesn't exist where you are, I do think that you could do this on your own. It's something that you could do, maybe not the extravagant, huge carts that this thing offers, but you could do use a bar cart and do something cute like that. So
a little DIY.
A little DIY, So let's move on to beverages with a little kick. So alcoholic beverages. For higher end clients, you could offer custom liquor bottles with personal engravings, which I feel like is really cool. You could give them out as a gift upon their arrival. So maybe they'll be waiting on each guest's seat, or they can be given out to everyone at the end of an event, or you could even use them selectively as prizes or for post-event follow-up, depending on what type of event you're planning. Reserve Bar is a business that has a wide selection of the most exclusive wine and spirits that can be customized with engravings. You could use anything your brand engravings or anything you can think of that would go along with your event. I feel like that's such a cool idea.
I feel like I would want my name personalized on like a nice bottle, and
Like, you
I
can do
would
it for
keep that as a
weddings.
keepsake. Yeah.
Absolutely. We could do it for like Tripleseat event camp and have it like Tripleseat branded. You could do it for weddings with like, your obviously with like the wedding information on it or whatever. And you could do it for there's so many things you could do it for well, maybe not trade shows because that's probably illegal, but other things. There's other things you can do it for. But the best part about this is that if you're in NYC, they can be customized and engraved and shipped within a 2-hour delivery window, which I feel like is pretty amazing for something, to get something that awesome.
I think it's so cool.
Our delivery window. Yeah, really cool. And I think like something like this is classy, professional, and everyone would enjoy it. And even if they don't drink alcohol, I'm sure they could gift it to somebody and be like, take it home and someone else would drink it. So I think it's cool.
Yeah.
So
sure.
like a final fun idea to add something special to your next event's beverage service, whether it's cocktails or mocktails, is an awesome new brand called Cocktail Graffiti. And they create edible drink toppers that can be customized for your event and then added to all of your custom cocktails. I think it's really cute. It's such a cute way to you could do this again, this could be for any type of event, I really think. And you can also offer them on mocktails, which would be really fun for an event with a younger, like under 21 crowd, maybe for like a sweet 16 or something like that, or a bar mitzvah. You could do that for like custom mocktails. I think that's cute. And the Cocktail Graffiti brand was created by a Tripleseat customer, Snake Oil Cocktail Company. And it was a way for them to bring an added fun experience to the drink element of an event. And you can check out their website at snakeoil.com/cocktail-graffiti, or you can look them up on Instagram just by searching Cocktail Graffiti. So yeah.
I feel like I've never seen them before. I've never seen anything like that before. I see it. I think you think classic, like drink art, you're thinking like a coffee drink, like a latte. So then having this element for like an actual cocktail, I think that's super fun.
I do too. So were they at the event that you were at last week? Did you actually eat like an edible?
They didn't have them. They weren't like pre-made. They were more like a mock-up of what it would look like. Gotcha. But I did talk to the girl in the picture here, and she may be interested in coming on the podcast. So we may get a little look at them down the line. So I'm also thinking like
for like the cocktail experience at event camp could be such a cute idea. And then they could also showcase their brand by doing that. So
honestly, that's such a good idea. Okay, I'm gonna have to
mention that to
maybe
maybe they'll speak at event camp. Kind of a cool idea to have them. Just saying. I'm just throwing it out there.
I love it. And they're big Tripleseat fans too, so we appreciate that, of course. But yeah, lots of drink inspo. Love that. So now for like food inspiration, there was a couple different things, a lot of different cool ideas, some more unique than like you wouldn't have thought of before. So one that I thought especially stood out to me was called Andy's Eats. And so Andy's Eats is the name of the brand. It's this super cute pink dessert truck. So following along with that food truck trend, which is super popular right now. And they serve individual cake in a jar jars. And so they're like little jars, 5 ounce, 8 ounces. And they call it that they're filled with cake scraps, quote unquote, which are essentially deconstructed pieces of cake, homemade, fresh, flavorful. They're filled with toppings. And so, yeah, like I said, they can be sold in like the small jars individually. They have sampler packs, but then the truck can actually be rented out for events and then like kind of set up there as any food truck would be. So I tried a couple of the flavors, some of the popular ones, and they do a lot of seasonal ones. So they had like an Oreo birthday cake, peanut butter and jelly, chocolate chip banana bread, graveyard mud cup, which was like a fun little Halloweeny one with like Oreos, and then Halloween guts and bones, which was like a red velvet fun looking one. And then each layer is basically like layered within the mini jar. And so it's super cute, super aesthetically pleasing. And the whole like pink theme as well is really fun of the truck. So it's this whole little setup, and they do a lot of events like weddings, birthday parties, bridal showers, corporate events, bar mitzvahs, and all sorts of celebrations like that. So I feel like it's just like a fun thing that's different than like past desserts or just like the standard food truck. I mean, I hadn't seen anything like that before.
Great idea. I love it. I would have done that for my wedding if something like that existed.
I feel like since we've started this podcast, there's been a lot of ways that you would have done your wedding differently. You would have had it been smaller.
I mean, honestly, if I planned my wedding today, everything would be different. Like literally everything. Possibly the venue would be the same. And obviously the husband would be the same. But I think everything else would be different. Yeah.
It's okay. The times have changed, Kate. It's been a minute.
Times have changed. I've changed, I'm a different person.
Yeah, inspiring.
Yeah.
So then another fun, also desserty experience that was a huge crowd pleaser was from this company called NPA Parties. And they were making at this show custom cotton candy art specifically in the shape of animals, which was super fun.
My kids would love that.
I know. I was thinking like perfect for a kid's birthday party or like a theme party that was like carnival theme or like, Candyland kind of thing.
They must like rake in the dough for all of these like, higher end families that have these huge birthday parties for their kids and they have so much money to spend. Like that's on them.
That's where I envision those being set up.
Right? Yeah, that's so cool.
But it was super cute. Like I got a unicorn that was in the shape of cotton candy that was in the shape of unicorn, and then people were like showing photos of their dogs and cats, and then the brand was like making them for them right on the spot there, which was super cute. And so like obviously, yeah, that's such like an Instagrammable moment too, which is like another way for the brand to get called out. But yeah, super unique opposed to just your standard. And I was also wondering if like they could add the cotton candy onto like a booze recipe of some sort.
Like, you know how they do those like cotton candies that like dissolve slowly into booze? Like if you could just plop it on top of champagne and just watch the animal dissolve into your champagne.
Like maybe a partnership between them and another brand. I don't think that they do it themselves, but two co-partner or something like that. I don't know, just thinking outside the box here. But then the brand as a whole, in case you're and I'm pretty sure, so it's New York, New Jersey, is what most of these vendors are for their areas. But so if you're in that area and you're looking for like other kind of fun treat type things, NPA Parties also, their whole thing is specializing in like food party favors essentially. And so they had other things like candy, sushi, chocolate covered waffles, like on sticks, pancake art, rolled ice cream, and chocolate fountains. So like all sorts of fun ways that you can make your desserts a bit more elevated and excited, opposed to just your classic plated or passed things. I feel like dessert is just such a fun way that you can go all out with like food experience and theatrics and stuff like that.
I agree. And most of the, and you don't really have to worry about people like not liking the way it tastes because 90% of people like sugar, right? So it's like
100%, yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to be like some weird new food you're trying. It's basically sugar just done a different way. So
right. No, seriously. That's a good point. But people probably thought that, but I feel like that's like, wow, that makes a lot of sense.
I mean, not everyone loves dessert, but like I'd say like 90% of people like will have dessert, wouldn't mind having it.
It's like what is it starts with an F, like fondant.
Yeah, fondant.
Yeah. Whatever makes a cake, like makes all the stuff on a cake, like you don't like go seeking that taste, but when you eat it, it's like sugary, it's fine. So you can't go wrong.
Right. Agreed.
Okay. And then just another point about vendors, we were seeing catering a ton as a whole was super prominent at the expo and just worth shouting out on its own. So there were a ton of amazing catering companies. And specifically, I saw some sushi catering companies that are in the New Jersey, New York area. So Ichiban Japanese Catering and Hakata Sushi Catering were two that were really awesome. And personally, I love sushi. And I think it's just such a classy way that you can be catering a party because of like its flexibility. The presentation is so nice. Sushi is such an easily passed item and just like easy for bite size. And I like it because like it's just a lighter option to some other classic catering things like Italian food and barbecue, which like we love that kind of catered buffet. But just first, sushi for a switch up. And so a lot of these sushi catering companies can work with your schedule, like going offsite or at home or at your event venue, wherever you're looking for. And then one other thing that I thought was funny is for the presentation, instead of sushi packets, they had these little like eyedropper kind of looking droppers, which maybe that's standard, but that was for like, they just had them on display that you could use for your, they had soy sauce in them. So instead of using soy sauce packets, which I feel like you open it, it rips and then it's like makes a mess when it's spilling everywhere. This was like a little dropper and I hadn't seen that before.
No, that's a great idea. I love that. That's cute.
Yeah, I
That's really
told
cute.
them that. I was like, I like this a lot better than a sushi or like a soy sauce packet.
Right. And I feel like I've seen those droppers for other like condiments in like past hors d'oeuvres. And I can't remember. It might have been like a balsamic drizzle for like a cup of like, like I think it was mozzarella, tomato, and then like it had like one of those. And I was like, oh, that's cool because not everyone likes the balsamic and it would be messy otherwise. So it's cute. It's a cute idea. I like it for sushi.
So
Feels
fun.
more, yeah, I like that idea. Now that we've covered food and drink, what's left? We can talk about different activities and experiences that can bring people together or just add some extra flair to your next event. So a few of the companies that Rachel saw last week were, so do you pronounce the first one Artemix or Artmix? Like how would
I
you?
was thinking Artemix,
Okay,
Artemix.
that's how I was thinking too. Okay, Artemix. It's a super cool entertainment company that offers a ton of art experiences that could really elevate your next event. So, a few examples of the services they offer include custom airbrush graffiti on merchandise like t-shirts and hats, airbrush tattoos, body paint, festival makeup, glitter tattoos, and a lot more. And you can hire Artemix to bring their art stations and talented team of staff to any event. And they've done corporate events, company retreats, private parties, concerts, festivals, brand activations, fundraisers, red carpet events, pretty much you name it, they've done it. And I think a lot of different events would appreciate, a fun artistic pop-up with art like this.
Yeah.
I would. I feel like it's a great idea. We
I
should.
got a custom beanie that says New York City on it. So it was really cute. And I mean, the booth was popping. Like I had to wait like 30 minutes to get the hat because everyone was wanting they were doing hats. You could put your name on it. People were putting their company names. I want a New York City because I'm a New Yorker now. But it was so cool. And then they had like the tattoos laid out too that they can like, it's kind of like the tattoo outline and then they can do like the airbrush pattern like over it.
So cute. I
Yeah,
love
it's
this.
just a fun, artsy element that you can add to your event that would like fit so many different audiences.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I feel like for corporate, like a corporate event, it could be cool. Like, I don't know. Now I keep thinking of event camp because we just got through event camp. So my mind is still like in event camp, but we could totally do something with them to like, and just have them like paint Tripleseat on stuff. So like give it out to the attendees with something or
yeah,
event camp, whatever. It's such a cute idea. I love it. And like, even like for like fun stuff, like the glitter tattoos could be for like a kid's party or like a teenager's party, festival makeup. Such a great idea.
100%.
Okay, and then another one, similar but different, is Paint Ilio. I'm feel like I'm going to pronounce these wrong, but Paint Ilio, another artistic activity company, and they bring paint by numbers to any sized event. So they'll bring group projects to events and they allow guests to work together to complete them, which is really cute, I think. And they'll even turn any custom photo or your logo into a mural for all of your guests or your employees to paint. I feel like this can be a great way to add a fun team building activity to corporate events. It would also work for larger conferences and trade shows. You could allow attendees to paint your brand's mural while speaking to sales reps. It's a great way to have people come to your booth. And they even do virtual events. And I'm sure this was something that maybe was born during COVID, but they'll send individual kits to people's homes. And, you can complete them together over Zoom, or it's just a way to like bring people together and be like, oh, look at what I did with mine. And, from all different places. Yeah, I think that was a cute idea too. I loved
I
both of
think
them.
I think that I didn't realize the trade shows one, but I feel like that's so cool. Like I'm picturing like when we go to high tech and we're always trying to think of how we can stand out with our booth. And if people are coming over and they can like actively participate in something, just like leave their mark and engage in it, that would be super cool.
I know. And I'm trying to think like we could even do like, because it's usually for our hotel product that we're at high tech. We could have like a mural of like a hotel lobby or something. I don't know. And like, so people are like, what does this do? But like, as people start to fill it out and paint it, the picture comes alive. And then they're like,
Oh my
oh,
God, what about like a product release? And like
oh,
as you
yeah.
keep painting it, then in the end it shows you like it tells you something like some news that's been broken or something like that, like a new feature, a new something.
It's cute. And then you could even record the entire thing and then speed it up so that it's like, so that you could
Hmm.
ads later on. I'm just, mine's working here. Mine is working.
A little time lapse action.
Tripleseat's about to hire all of these companies.
You guys, you don't need them. We want them now for our
We're gonna
events.
take them. We'll take them.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Love a little art, a little artisticness, and you don't even need art skills to do paint by numbers. So that's even better.
Paint by number. No, you don't. And it's so, I feel like it's very soothing in a way. Yeah, I don't know. I love paint by numbers. And then you look artistic at like you're really talented at the end.
100%. Oh,
Love
I love it.
it.
Okay, a few more final activities that this one was actually one of my top booths that I visited. It's called Paper Shoot Cameras. And so it's kind of a new quote unquote disposable camera, but it's not a disposable camera because you reuse it and it has a SIM card in it. So just I don't know. So when did disposable cameras become a thing? Like was was it when you were young?
Yeah, like when I was, I mean, I brought like like I remember being so excited because I saved up my money so I could buy an underwater disposable camera to bring to Disney World with me when I was like 6 years old. And that was like the height of like new stuff. It was like what you can bring it underwater.
That's actually hilarious.
Right. And at like my sister's wedding, and she got married. I mean, she's sorry, Jody. She's a lot older than me. She got married when I was like, 13, I think, or 14. And they were like one of those weddings that had disposable cameras on every table so that everyone would take pictures and she could, they were interesting when she when she took them to get developed. But yeah. Do they even sell disposable cameras anymore? I'm going down
Well, they do. So that's why I asked, because I think disposable cameras are so popular right now for Gen Z, and like trying to get that
bringing
fun.
everything back from my generation is so popular for your generation.
I know. But they like, so disposable cameras are so popular. Everyone wants that artsy, like camera, like disposable camera quality photo. Like everyone knows what that looks like. It's that fun little, artistic looking. I don't even know how to describe it. I'm not a photographer, but it's like that same look that you can't get with an iPhone. There's literally been apps developed. Have you ever heard of the app called Dispo? It was like David Dobrik's app. So it's like an app that takes disposable cameras and then it doesn't like let you see them until 24 hours later, so that it like, lets you have that kind of, you have to wait for it. Yeah. I think that app is still like alive and well, but it's not the same as if you have a physical disposable camera.
So there is like an element of, it's also not as easy to like point and shoot with a disposable camera. Like with an iPhone, you're always going to know that you have the right image in the right view. Like sometimes you think you're looking at something in a disposable camera and then you're like, that's not what I was trying to take a picture. Like you just have no clue. So
100%. And so this company, they don't look like disposable cameras. They look like classic, kind of like old fashioned looking cameras. But you can customize them. So then you customize the camera, you can brand it to be your brand, you can brand it for events. So one of the ones that they were promoting, or an example one that they had there, it was like a wedding dress on kind of like a wedding dress outline and then a tuxedo outline. And you could leave them on the bride, like the different tables at your wedding, and then people can use them throughout the night. Take the photos, they save to the SIM card, and then afterwards you can look at the photos on the SIM card before you go to print them, because one of the downsides of the disposable cameras, and like what you just said, is they're expensive to print, and then you could be printing things that have like black photos or photos that you didn't mean to take, and you're just kind of wasting your money. So having the SIM card lets you like look at them beforehand, but then you like, they're still going to be, it's not just like taking like on the iPhone, you're still going to have the disposable camera quality look. And then just also like gets people off the iPhone. You're not just looking on your phone. You can like literally leave your phone at like in your bag during a wedding, and then you can be using the disposable camera, and it's like a fun thing after the fact. So I thought this was super cool. I think I was telling Maz about it. I was like, okay, maybe this could be an event camp thing that we rent, but like regardless, if this was at my wedding, another way that you could do your wedding differently would be to have these on the tables and have people using them throughout the wedding night.
No, I think it's a really cute name. And funny side story. When I moved into this house a couple of years ago, I found an old disposable camera from high school that I didn't know existed. And that was a treasure trove of photos of Kate and other people from high school. It brought back some memories, and it was the right time for that to happen because it was like the midst of COVID and no one was talking to anyone. So I was like, oh, I can't wait to send these photos to my friends from high school and be like, wow.
That's so good. That's so good.
I mean, most of them are crap because you can't see anything. It's like, you take a picture at night and there's no flash and you're just like, it's like black. But There were some good ones. There were some
I
good
love
ones.
it. I love it. Just disposable camera photos get everyone in their feels, especially when, they're from your younger days.
They're from 1997.
Oh, I was 1 year old. 1 year
I,
old.
it's so crazy. I brought it to CVS and I was like, can you even like develop these? And the girl was like, she's in high school and she was like, I don't know. This is really old. I was like, it's not that old.
This is really old.
Really old. She's like, I wasn't even born yet. Oh boy.
So
Anyway.
good. But yeah, so photo shoot camera, everyone should check them out. We'll link them in the show notes too. Big fan. And then finally, just another just custom branding company was called Stackable Sensations. And I feel like there's just so many customizing like knickknack companies on the market, but this one stood out to me. They had literally anything under the sun that you could think of that you'd want branded, from like chocolate things that you smash to like a custom pizza cutter to like every kitchen appliance that you could want your name branded on. Like there's just so many things, popcorn machines, like fun little knickknacks. So it was called Stackable Sensations, and I've been looking on their website too for other ideas as well.
Assuming they're not just NYC, like you could probably, is it like national?
I'm pretty sure they were national, yeah. And I mean, I guess we could shout out our own vendor, Jack Nadell. We love them too.
We do love Jack Nadell.
That's our go-to. Jack Nadell is our normal vendor for swag, but I'm just like looking to compare, and just it's always cool to see what everyone's coming up with on their different catalogs.
And sometimes even like we've even had Jack Nadell, like we've seen things in other companies are doing and they're not, and then we send it to them and they're like, we can do this.
Yeah.
So
right.
Can always check, but cool.
Yeah.
I love swag. I feel like we do this like every few years. We're like, oh, let's get rid of all the old swag and do all new swag, but it's like the same stuff. Like what else can you do?
And that's why we're looking for some new inspiration and some other things. Yeah. I don't know. There's just lots of ways to like fun kits for like, so for hospitality industry in general, like what event planners would want to have. Right. There's lots of different things with cocktails, food and drink. I kind of want like a custom shaker, and my newest thing that I'm really into is matchboxes. So there was a company actually, or it was an event venue, and they were handing out matchboxes for like as their swag. And so I'm thinking maybe we should do that for a hotel event of ours, because I'm thinking like, okay, hotel lobby could be a place, like restaurants that like you normally, when you're like leaving at the hostess stand, you can grab a matchbox if they have them there. So I'm thinking hotel lobby, maybe they sell them there too, or like give them out at a hotel lobby. So maybe for a hotel event, we could do like hotel matchbox branded with a candle or something like that.
Cute. Are you starting to collect matchboxes now over everywhere you go? Yeah, I did that for a long time. I have some from like the early 2000s that like still have matches in them, that I had like a huge vase that just was like almost full.
Yeah.
We did matches for our wedding too, which was cute. That was
really? That's fun.
Yeah, they were really cute. Etsy has like a ton of cool companies that do custom match boxes, but I agree with you. I love match boxes, especially from like trendy restaurants.
Yeah.
The best.
I brought a couple back. Brought a couple back from London with me, to be honest.
London has some great ones. I have some from when I was in London like years ago, and I always, everywhere I go, I take two. So like I'll use them, and then the other one I don't use, and I just put it in like this like container.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Yeah, now that's my thing now. I love it. Love.
Every trendy young woman goes through a matchbox stage.
Did Carrie Bradshaw do it first?
I don't know. I feel like it's something she would have done, but not sure if she did. I mean, she smokes, so she should have.
I know.
That's funny.
So funny. Well, I feel like those were a lot of great ideas. And if you have if you're listening and you have any other vendors that you've worked with that you'd recommend, we should check out. We love to see them. And we're always looking for like the cool next, like trendy experience that can be incorporated at an event, and we love event experiences, so we're all about that. What'd you say?
We love events.
We love events.
We are events, Rachel. We are events.
We are events running through our blood.
Yep.
We love it.
Thanks for joining, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
thanks for listening to this week's episode of Two Chicks, Three Seats.
Your events industry podcast, brought to you by Tripleseat, the industry leader for event management software.
Find out more about Tripleseat at tripleseat.com.